going on, everybody? We're getting closer and closer to the NFL draft. And on today's show, I'm going to take a look at 5 NFL draft sleepers for this year's draft. My name is Harrison Graham. You are watching for Verts. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. The first guy is a player from the University of Minnesota, Max Brosmer, that I watched week 1 of the college football season last year against North Carolina and was like, oh my God, this guy sucks. And then I kept watching Minnesota for some reason. I probably watched 5 of their games last year. By the end of the year, I was like, he's pretty good. Pretty good. Experienced player, transferred in from New Hampshire, and put together a pretty solid season, right? I mean, Minnesota usually does not have quarterbacks that put up solid numbers like this. Very accurate player, almost threw for 3,000 yards, and an offense that, again, typically is not the most explosive, does not have the best skill players. 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, and he just got better and better and better, which is what impressed me. And there's a lot to like about Brosmer. 47 collegiate starts, 3 years at New Hampshire, then this past year at Minnesota. At New Hampshire, he led the FCS in passing in 2023. And like I said, I thought he adjusted well in the Big Ten. Early on, it was like, yeah, it's different level speed playing in the Big Ten ACC program like North Carolina week 1. He, just looked overwhelmed. But then as the year went on, I remember he had a good game against Penn State. They almost upset them. I like his decision-making. He's accurate. Almost 6'2", 218 pounds. He's got good enough size. Probably not a starter ever in the NFL because he can't move at all. He's a statue. But he's a good decision-maker, smart player. I think he could be one of these guys that hangs around for 7-8 years in the NFL as a backup because he's just a smart player that is accurate and makes good decisions. And by all accounts, checks the off-the-field stuff. And remember, as a backup quarterback, you can't be a guy who brings distractions, and you got to be either like an explosive athlete, like a runner type, or just someone who can pick up an offense and just make good decisions. And he kind of checks that box. He kind of reminds me of a less athletic Case Keenum when he was coming out. We're like little, not the biggest guy, but big enough. Pretty accurate, not the biggest arm. We'll see what kind of career he has. He's obviously had an amazing career for where he came from. I'm not saying Brosmer is going to be that, but he does kind of remind me of that with his journey and what he could bring to an NFL team. Who is your favorite day 3 quarterback in this draft? Let me know in the comment section below. Brosmer projected to be like 6th, 7th rounder. I'd take a stab on him late in the draft if I was a team looking for like a 3rd QB on my depth chart. Okay, let's talk about Elijah Badger. I've actually mocked him to the Bears in a couple of my Bears mock drafts, and I don't really get his projections. Everything I see is like 6th round, 7th round, 7th round. He's been productive for 3 straight years at 2 different colleges, 2 Power 4 colleges, and he brings, and it's not like, it's like, oh, he's productive, but he's 5'7" or something like that. Like, no, he's 6'1", 200 pounds. He ran a 4.43 in the 40. He's a big play machine. Last year, he averaged over 20 yards per catch. 2 years ago, he was one of the best kick returners in college football. Like, I don't understand what I'm missing with Badger. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like he should be a second-round pick or something, but, like, this isn't a guy you take early day 3. Like, I would. He's got good size. He's fast. He's good after the catch. Not the best route runner. Doesn't consistently separate despite his size and speed combination. But again, like, to me, he profiles as like a 4th-round pick with the production he's had and the skill set he brings. And sometimes it's like, yeah, it's 7th round. Okay. I would take him in the 7th round in a heartbeat. Okay, Jalen Travis. This guy is fascinating. So he was at Princeton, transfers to Iowa State, had a pretty good season last year, graded out pretty well per PFF, especially as a pass blocker. You look at his athletic profile, the agility, the quickness, that kind of brings it down a little bit, and I think that's why he's a bit of a tough projection for NFL evaluators. But this is just a massive guy with the length, the traits you're looking for the most part. The foot speed is average. I think, and the technique is definitely raw. But this guy plays with physicality. He's got traits you're looking for a tackle. I see a lot of late day 3 buzz on. And look, the issue with him might be is he's probably too big and too tall to be a natural guard, and he probably doesn't have the foot speed to be a high-level tackle. So he's kind of like this weird tweener. But if you get him, I feel like just put him in an NFL strength and conditioning program for 1 or 2 years, get him with a good offensive line coach. I think he could develop into being like a good backup, be a swing tackle if you have to play in a pinch. He's got the imposing body. He can maul in the run game, although his technique is inconsistent. He's got a pretty good anchor in the pass game. I don't know. Like I feel like there's something there. And again, if I'm taking a flyer on someone on day 3, give me some traits. This guy's got those traits. I like the mean and nastiness he kind of plays with. So he's an intriguing player for me in like the 5th or 6th round. Okay, subscribe to 4 Verts, NFL, college football videos every single day, all year long, during the season, in the off season. We're obviously in NFL draft mode right now. So be sure to lock us in here on 4 Verts. We're chasing 10,000 subscribers. Help us get there. Okay, another offensive lineman, Willie Lampkin, center, guard, hybrid, probably center only in the NFL. At least I think that's going to be his best position because he's one of the more unique prospects I can ever remember. He's just under 5'11", and he was listed at 279 pounds. So you're like, how the hell is that guy going to play in the NFL? Well, he's very athletic, and he is one of the more technically sound interior offensive linemen I've seen in a while. He was stonewalling 320-pound defensive tackles at the Senior Bowl. Transferred in from Coastal Carolina. Mac Brown takes a chance on him. Plays well at UNC at right guard last year. Again, I think in the NFL, given his size profile, he's probably center only. But PFF, look how well he graded out. One of the best graded players. In his entire collegiate career, he gave up 1 sack. 1 sack. Like, I get it. 5'11", 275, 280. That's tough to play at that size in the NFL on the offensive line. But I look at a guy like Aaron Brewer, who had success in Tennessee. He's now the Dolphins center. Really athletic, obviously, at times as a pass protector. He can get driven back, but he's had a very successful career. He's one of the best 10 or 12 centers in the NFL. Not saying Lampkin's going to be that, but there's just something about this guy. There's something about this guy. He's a classic overachiever. He's had to work for everything that he's gotten. I've seen him potentially going undrafted. I would bring this guy into my building because, you don't get this far at that size without having a little something to you. To me, you can bring something to a locker room. Even if he ends up on a practice squad at first, that's a guy I would keep around. And you're seeing these teams kind of go to these, like, backup lineman fullback roles. Like, I think he could be a fun, like, fullback in a jumbo package type of player because he is athletic. So, I don't know. I would bring Willie Lampkin to my team if I needed some depth on the interior and if I didn't have a true fullback and didn't want to carry a fullback, but maybe this guy is like my last lineman on the 53, but also plays that fullback hybrid role. Okay, Jalin Conyers, a guy I actually got to spend a few minutes with at the Big 12 Pro Day a couple of weeks back. Myself and Marshall Green got to talk to him. Bright kid, played at Arizona State with Jaden Daniels a few years back before he transferred to LSU, and then Conyers transferred to Texas Tech. Tested out really well in the pre-draft process. He was also graded as one of the best blocking tight ends in college football this past year, and he's been very consistent. The last 3 years, he's basically averaged like between 350 and 400 yards, and in 2022, he had 5 touchdowns. Then the next year didn't have any touchdowns, but he still had like 400 yards. And then last year he had 5 more touchdowns. So I think he could be a red zone threat. I see like 5th, 6th round, good athlete, good blocker, soft hands, can run routes. I think he could be like a tight end 3 as a rookie and develop into like a good number 2. So I like that, and I love that he can block. He's one of the few tight ends in this draft, especially later on in the draft, that comes in with a positive blocking profile. You just don't see that much anymore with these guys coming out of college football. He's good at it, but he's also a good athlete that can run routes as well. So keep an eye on him on day 3. I think he could add to a tight end room that's looking for like that third guy to round out that room. Okay, who is your favorite sleeper in this draft? Who's a prospect that not enough people are talking about that you think deserves some love? Let me know in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe to us here at 4 Verts. We're going to continue to pump out draft content every single day leading up to the draft, and then obviously we'll react to the actual draft as well. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you soon.